The Daily Times newspaper this morning. Troops foil attack on New Marte. Kunshi neutralized scores of insurgents in Borno. Tinubu asked National Assembly to approve $21.5 billion foreign loan and 758 billion naira pensions bond. All right, 15-year, $500 million Nigeria Trusts Fund. Additional grateful to federal government, gives account of 10-year stewardship as AFDB presidents. In other headlines on the Daily Times, IBAS to defend Rivers budgets before joint National Assembly Committee. 80% of workers lack social protection, says NECA. Reps move to restructure Nigeria's finance sector. NAFDAC uncovers fake drug factory in Delta. Interesting. Children's Day, Tinubu reaffirms commitment to child protection. And now to the Nation newspaper this morning. On the Nation this morning, JAMB, WAEC go tough on exam malpractices. Tinubu seeks lawmakers nods to borrow 757 billion naira and $223 billion and others. Rampers over third term bid by Lagos Council Chair. Democracy at 26, still much to do. All the details on the Nation newspaper. PDP APC clash over one party claim. With the rider, opposition attacks ruling party over economy and insecurity. Okay, we're moving now to the Daily Trust. After 1 year, PDP NEC finally meets. All right, you can find the details on the Daily Trust. I mean, it's just several celebratory, congratulatory messages on the front pages of the papers, mostly this morning. On The Guardian, fresh loans may push Nigeria's debts to 183 trillion naira. Right, that's on the Guardian newspaper with all sorts of congratulatory 2 years in office. And on the Punch newspaper this morning, PDP NEC under pressure as INEC validates Wike hacked secretary or Wike backed secretary. PDP NEC under pressure as INEC validates Wike-backed secretary. NFIU probes 48 billion naira suspicious transfers to Dubai and Hong Kong. NFIU probes 48 billion naira suspicious transfers to Dubai and Hong Kong. Interesting. I mean, these monies are moving out of Nigeria's coffers to private firms in Dubai and Hong Kong. Some of these persons, use it to buy properties of all sorts, and leaving most Nigerians here really suffering the brunt of those actions. So still on the Punch, fresh $24 billion borrowing may balloon Nigeria's debts to 183 trillion naira. With the rider, National Assembly set to approve Tinubu's loan requests. Foreign debt nears $70 billion. Economists worry over high debt servicing. All right. Well, I guess we all know where the debt servicing is coming from your pocket, from my pocket. That is the reason why most of the things are really up high there, and the taxes are really up high there. It's not like, there's any equating increase in minimum wage or equating increase on ease of doing business, but you just have to pay the tax as the case may be, even though there are inadequacies at that level. Anyways, we're back to the table to speak largely on some of these headlines, and also speak on the 2 years administration of this administration, because practically every single paper has some sort of congratulatory message from different persons, from different organizations, congratulating President Tinubu on his second year anniversary that he marks in a couple of hours. Chris joins us. Good morning, Chris. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Charles. Good morning, the good people of the world and the good-spirited people who care about their fellow human beings. May God reward you Because the measure for which you measure for others is the same measure they use to measure for you. Life is a cycle. Whatever you sow, you reap. So good morning once again, Charles.
Indeed. Indeed. Speaking of measures, that you measure for someone is the one that you will be measured with. And if you look at the measure in which Tinubu used in measuring Goodluck Jonathan with protests, it's removal of subsidy, you would wonder whether we're using the same measure, to judge it.
One thing about the proverb of bone and silence of our great-grandfathers, our ancestors. They're talking about the man who is good at using machete to kill people. We never allow you to use machete to walk at his back. Yes. So when you look at that, you can apply that and do not expect that after occupying Nigeria, and you saw that our president, who is incumbent, was at that time an activist. He was pushing. He made this wonderful statement that are still in history, that thank God for social media. You can also always Google it and play it back. Wonderful statements against the incumbent then. Now, I don't think he will enjoy other people to come and make such statements about him. Now you know how he feels.
But it's scary for me, and I'm sure it's also scary for most Nigerians. Because even if you, beyond even the Occupy Nigeria, the Nadeko, this guy has always played in the opposition. Even under Obasanjo, this guy has always played in the opposition. He has always said he can do better, he will do better. And now, he is there, and we are not even seeing better. And I'm wondering, like, the people who are even now criticizing him, the likes of Peter Obi, Atiku, Sowore, and these guys who are all around criticizing, do we even trust them to take over if we have this kind of person?
You get to a point, what I keep shouting here, they think I have anything against politicians. Ordinarily, we are politicians because we are taught that humans are political animals. Because you make a decision of what to appropriate and what to take and how you move your life, how to organize yourself. That's politics. But I'm talking about that when we look at over time, politicians, especially in Africa, then bring it down, especially in Nigeria. Over time, some of the things they have done, they're not giving you room to trust them anymore. We have real people. I've mentioned names here. I remember Adams Oshomole of the days of Nigerian Labour Congress. When Labour Congress was Labour, this kind of political statement, Nanda Oju Ananda Azikiwe, those days we quote him as kids in the university that whenever he appeared. So when we did politics, when politics was politics, I remember Kwame Nkrumah of blessed memory. He started mentioning all the blessed memory of his colleagues who play politics. But then, when Nigerian Labour Congress was here, Adams Oshomole was the leader. He will cough, and Nigeria will catch cold. Nigerian government, everybody. Nigerian Labour were intact, and then he walked his way, the support, and got into politics. The rest is history. He wasn't totally a failure, but it wasn't that fire with which he entered there that he burned out at last. He got to the point of becoming national chairman of a ruling party. What happened? No, the idea is that the real test of a man is when you give him all full authority to govern and appropriate. And that's why the philosophers told us that absolute power can corrupt absolutely. Imagine what it means. One of the used to be, I don't know about now, Africa's richest country, black man's country, Nigeria, and they suddenly find yourself at the top. So many things you might be fighting that we do not know. But why are they keeping silent, not letting people know what they're fighting? That means they're also suspect. Because we suspect that the international community are not allowing any African country to breathe. That what is happening in some West African countries will tell you. Some people are now saying, we want to break loose of this neo-colonial mentality and actions. We want to remain alone. I mean, if you want to kill a blade, kill a blade. If you don't leave us alone. If we are going to survive, we survive. If we want to, If we can survive, let us find a way. Nature abhors vacuum, and the necessity is mother of invention. If these people have left African countries alone, our people will chop and chop to the point the people will say, oh boy, don't chop enough now. Let we talk. And we'll be seeing, the idea is that if our dog is fighting with another person's dog, the proverb is, let our own win. Let me even bite the other one to death. We will pay. On the ball. Let Charles be the governor of my state. Chop all the money. Put the money here. Not chakari and go anywhere. He chopped you when you're very full. You start spilling over. We will see it. Some governors in the past, you know, when we were those days, we never see anything. Some governors, they were accused that they stole their state money, invested it in the same state, build the university, build radio communication, telecom, employ people. EFCC came to manage those. Where are those things now? Meaning that even EFCC is suspect. If those people stole the money and invest it here, one day it will spill over. But this idea of a throw away, and this international community are coming here to deceive us. Any day you stand up to challenge them, they will raise your neighbors against you, and we are fighting ourselves without knowing that our common enemy is those so-called developed nations who do not want us to get to the level where they are. They crossed the Ogwe. That's the way we see it. They know the corrupt people. They help them deserve the money. They now be, playing us like pawn in their international politics and economic chessboard. It's not helping us. The revolution has started. Whether Nigeria is the biggest market in Africa with population that all of them we are the bride. So they keep turning us around like they never want, because you can imagine when we get to that level, who will buy Tokumbo cars and Tokumbo computers and Tokumbo phones and Tokumbo mentality, Tokumbo policies? Who will borrow? Look at the amount of money that our president is asking to borrow more. And guidance said, fresh loan will push Nigeria debt status to 182 trillion. 182 trillion. In just how many years of independence? You are this level. If you and the funniest thing is that they look at America and say America is also owing. America will owe you, pay back with the currency they owe. You go and borrow in dollars and pay back in dollars while you are using naira here. Look at the level of your naira. If you had borrowed $2, you will be paying back 4,000 naira on average. $2, you pay 4,000. Are we looking at it? So we're not the same thing. They borrow, they pay back with their dollars. We borrow in dollars and pay back in dollars where we're using naira here. And naira, they are looking for who will tell them. It's almost like can't buy anything. Why are we playing such politics? Why are they telling us a level of cooperation bilateral? Can two people who are not equal be friends? It's a meeting of equals, unequals, at that level. Then they must stop deceiving us. And our leaders also. But what is stopping the man who married the first wife from not marrying the second one? It's what is holding a bachelor who has not even thought about marrying. The same wahala. The same thing that hold our leaders, the same thing holding Africa, holding on. But the other thing is that their insincerity of opening up. Look at what's happening in Burkina Faso. The man opened up, told the people, and the people came out and said, "Is that what is happening? Leave it to us." Those people will jump. They will jump fence and leave us alone. He got out the support of the people. Now, whatever he's doing there, because he's showing, he throw the stone and open your hands. I say, boy, I know carry. Just throw the punch, open your hand. And no, there's no stone. It's not my punch. And that's the sincerity we require from them. We are looking at 2 years. All the newspapers are filled with congratulating messages, congratulating. But you said it here once. You said when you are at the table eating, don't make noise. And probably why we are making noise is that we are not at the same table with them where they eat. And of course, they wouldn't want us near there. Because if you get somebody who is so hungry to a table where you have eaten so much and you spill over in the dustbin, the person will embarrass you. The person, the way he will eat. You know, so they want etiquette, table manners. And that's such table of corruption. And disappropriation of Nigerian Commonwealth. They don't want any people like us who come here talking and eating and talking. They just want to keep quiet. When it's 2 years of swearing in the incumbents, buy all the front page of newspapers. Just check what it costs to buy front page of internationally circulating newspaper. Check it and put it across. Those who are congratulating the present government must have reason.
Of course.
Me and you might not have. They have reason to congratulate them. Because another man's meat must be another man's poison. That is the democracy for you, and it's balanced. But we are saying there is what you call at certain point, what you call universally accepted concept. That is a point you have when you put a surveyor. When majority talk about, that's democracy also. If majority are crying and pointing somewhere, because if a child is crying and pointing towards one particular location constantly, if the mama is not there, the papa is there, or somebody who has that potential to act as papa or mama. Not even in these present times where some dogs eat bones that are hung on their neck. So, even when you are talking about that. So in the Nation newspaper, PDP and APC clash over one party. Why are they clashing? PDP, actually, I see PDP. I'm sorry, but I don't have. It used to be very, friendly. If you have sympathy, but recently, you throw away and you're saying you are walked in since when you are National Executive Council is meeting for the first time in 1 year, and you know what faces you. You are busy going to court. You cannot meet. You are busy struggling who becomes chairman. From chairman, you come down to who becomes secretary. You are fighting and people are pulling out. Some states are pulling with total structures. Another one is threatening their executive that if they don't do, and you are still fighting up to today. You are national headquarters. You've not paid grant rate. They reminded you, and the what is reminding you is from within. And the force that is seizing your national asset is within. APC has this one is distraction. APC should not clash with the PDP should not clash with the APC over one party system. They should actually help them in aiding one party system. That's what PDP are doing. Let them come out and prove to Nigeria that among them there are not people who are pushing for one party system. All of them are jumping boat because their boss had flat tire. And they cannot have patience to get a vulcanizer to pump the tire. Everybody's giving one reason why they should abandon their boss in the wilderness and waiting for me to go and repair the boss, and they say clash. This is totally out of you. Nobody's clashing with nobody. If you aid any party in power incumbent who want to win election to get one party system, you are a suspect. Not blame anybody.
Chris, we're talking about Jamba and
yes,
WAEC.
It's a Jamba and WAEC are now playing very serious over examination malpractices, and that keep each time these two boards keep talking about this. What they are telling us is that they are just indirectly telling the world that they failed in the past, and it gives me a lot of worry. If this is at the time, they now think this is time to. What happened to all those ones they churned out when the malpractice was high and they kept blind eyes? They should really go back, and I'm surprised WAEC was brought in here because I thought WAEC has been purged of their own. If the bug that is beating JAMB now beat WAEC, that will be their last, the way they are last in Nigeria. They say better because Nigeria is their biggest market. And if Nigeria population is overwhelming, like it is, even when it is WAEC and NECO, probably we'll be thinking about the third examination board for our young people. So the other one, everything is about celebration of the 2 years of the review. But we have that Tinubu seeks the nod of the National Assembly to borrow 657 billion naira and $53 billion. And that's wonderful. Because if you say you are seeking the nod of NAS, it's given. Because from all indication, there's what has our president asked the National Assembly that they didn't grant. In fact, if he dreams of borrowing money, National Assembly will pick it. They have telepathy, the one way they read the mind of a president, and that will tell you the mutuality and beautiful arrangement they have. So before you even wake up and said, I have a dream, they say, what? Mr. President, don't tell us you are thinking what you are thinking. Go ahead. You don't even know dream. Borrow. You will be here. He's just seeking nod. Before tomorrow, National Assembly have approved the more borrowing. But then all the newspapers are shouting about ballooning our debt profile. Who will pay? Charles? Somebody? You're saying that somebody, the bird, the chicken, has just pecked on your food, and you are trying to pursue the chicken away. You carry 2 legs into the plate of jollof rice, not Ghanaian jollof, Nigeria jollof, hot, steaming. What are you going to do? We are shouting that the debt balloon, balloon is already at the stretch of blowing up. You are borrowing more. For who? When all they have concentrated in 2027, assuming you borrow more, increase the debt borrow, and the 2027, you do not return back. And some other person will come and stoop on their shit. I thought now that they all concentrate on 2027, they should push everything, pursue returning back. When they return back, they will continue to borrow. I don't see the sense. Unless they're perfected, of course, what I'm telling you, some of them in power do not believe anything they have already perfected how they return back. So everything is a process. It's just feel all righteousness. Because if it's in the right place that we are thinking what they're thinking, at this point they want to borrow, buy from the minds of people to start seeing the good things they've done and start doing campaign and awareness creation of how they should be supported to complete their tenure and then do more things. It's not time to come and ballooning our debt profile. Assuming, because no man is not God, and we are not saying they shouldn't be planning and doing this. It's only borrowing our measure of planning for economic and governance of Nigeria's structure. Is that the only way? So when you wake up, oh, we need $20 billion, borrow. Remember that any money you did not spend, you saved it. And we still go on spending spree on some things that are not yielding Nigeria any money. It's to borrow. I'm yet to be convinced. Probably I'm so insignificant. But when I sit here looking at the policy and I'm asked to review, that's my opinion. And I own no party. I don't have anything against anybody. That's the way I feel. I consider myself as a loud-mouthed native doctor. I don't do juju for Yahoo boys and witch doctors. I don't. And criminal people and kidnappers. I talk the way I think it should go, and I can be faulted. A teacher, that's me. But as far as I've said, this is all where my job stops. And I thank you, Charles, for this opportunity. Thank you for watching and listening, the good people of the world. We'll continue.
Many thanks, Chris. It's been one amazing time again with you. Another fine time. We'll have again with him tomorrow, same time, same station, all the way from 8 a.m. So join us then. So we're back after the short break. Do stay with us. Signature TV, news in your pocket.